Hello, televiewers. Good evening and welcome to this other edition of The Point on My Media Prime, an edition that is once again going to be looking at African traditional medicine with one guest who has always been here to educate our audience on the importance of African traditional medicine and its origins, trying to inform, educate Africans on how to take care of themselves based on the originalities of what were handed down to us by our forefathers, calling on us to return to using nature as the sure and best means of surviving as human beings. We are this evening going to be discussing with Dr. Richard Afru, who is the founder, CEO of the Garden of Eden Naturopathic Institute of West Africa. He is in the studio with me to talk about a topic that looks so simple but very important. We are going to be looking at the reasons why we fall sick as human beings. There's some key factors that are pushing us to getting sick, and how do we make sure that we build our body's immune systems to overcome and stand sustainably, live healthy lives. We are glad to have you with us this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Kum. Good evening, viewers of the program, The Point. Yeah, the topic today is very interesting, and I believe people who are following, they're going to gain a lot from it. I want to encourage even practitioners of health in any domain, be it traditional, orthodox, or religious, let them follow this program. They will find it very interesting.
Okay, if you are watching this program this evening and you have some doubts, please do well to write to Dr. Fru using the numbers on your screen. But you can also write to me, put a question, and I will ask him for clarification. Doctor, basically I'll ask you, why do we fall sick? Did God actually create us to be falling sick when things are not well? Then we get well until when we can no longer survive, we die?
Thank you for that question, Mr. Kum. Yeah, it's very interesting to know that there's a difference of getting sick and falling sick.
Okay.
You can get sick without falling sick.
Okay.
There's no living thing that don't get sick. Getting sick and falling sick are two different things.
Yeah.
Yes. When you get sick, yes, every day we get sick. You can have a mild headache, you can have some little belly bite because of errors we make, some pain, some little body itches because we are in a jungle full of so many tongues, both physical and spiritual. So you can easily get this small malaise. But falling sick, it means you get sick and you need attention. You need a medical attention. Maybe you are lying on the bed, you sit home, you can not go about your normal daily activities. That is when we say you fall sick. Why do people fall sick? People fall sick because of sin.
Okay.
And I will define what sin is. Sin is a breakage of a natural principle that governs life. People fall sick because they break natural principles that govern life, and that is what is sin. It's not limited to what we are taught daily and so on. And in the course of the program, I will name a few sins that people commit against Mother Nature. Before I proceed, I want to define what nature is.
Okay.
Nature is God. You know, religion has made us to believe that there's one old power sitting up there with long beard, has been there for ages and so on, watching the world, taking records of people and their sins and their atrocities. Then there's a final day he will judge and say, you go this way, you go this. That is what religion has made us to believe. But your judgment comes immediately you commit sin against nature, and nature is God. So if you commit sin against nature, which is God, you face the consequences immediately. We have inherited sins and we have acquired sins.
Okay.
Inherited sins, also different from what we are taught in religion. Inherited sins are the shortcomings you inherit from your parents due to their errors they committed or their sins they committed against nature. And so they develop deficiencies, which these deficiencies are passed to their offsprings, and then it continues from generation to generation. For example, your parents or my parents, they committed sins against Mother Nature, then develop disease. Then add to what they inherited that their parents committed, which their parents to also acquire inherited some from their great grandparents. Then I come today, I commit my own sins against nature, which is God, because nature is God, not one man's up there. Then I add to the inherited bondage from my parents, then my own health problems increase, my wahala increase. And as I'm giving birth, the problems that I inherited, including mine that I've caused to my body, I will hand them to my children. They too will come up, commit their own errors, their own sins against nature, which is God, then get problem, add again, and then it keep running. When you go to science, they say hereditary. Hereditary problems in the family. Cancer runs in the family. Diabetes runs in the family. Hypertension runs in the family. Epilepsy runs in the family. Those are sins committed, some inherited and some committed by us, and we hand them to preceding generations.
Doctor, precisely speaking, what is sickness? What is that aspect when we fall sick? How do we describe it? We are ill.
Thank you. Yeah, when you fall sick, it means something has affected you. You cannot go about your normal daily activities. You are hindered. It means something has impaired your system. Something is controlling your system, stopping you from going about your normal activities, stopping you from enjoying health, from enjoying the good life you are supposed to live. So we say you are sick. It means you go through some stress.
Yeah, but specifically speaking, what is going wrong in our system when we fall sick?
Yes, you know, there are what we call stressor agents.
Okay.
We have mental stressor agents. We have physical stressor agents. We have emotional stressor agents. We have social stressor agents. We have spiritual stressor agents. And these agents, when they attack us or we are inflicted, they reduce our body vitality. I will break them down because now I'm just using them. I've just coined everything. I will break so that people will be able to understand what I mean here by physical stressor agents, mental stressor agents, spiritual stressor agents. So let me just start breaking them down. Physical stressor agents are what? Well, physical stressor agents start from the environment we live. It can be full of a lot of negativity. It attacks our physical body. The food we eat, maybe we eat food that is toxic, food that is poor of vitality, food that has a lot of chemicals in it. It will affect our body. Those are physical stressor agents. Then we have mental stressor agents. Mental stressor agents are the information we get. The wrong information, they go and impair our mind. You know, the human mind is like the brain, the memory of the computer. It is the information that is stored in the memory of the computer that controls how the computer operates. It is the information that you store in your mind that controls how your body functions. And that is why to cure people, you start by counseling them, you counsel, then you work on their mind and so on. Their mind reach a state that sends energy that will do some sort of reverse in their system. They get healing, and that is what people do, faith healing, like the churches and so on. That is what they mostly do. They work on people's mind and so on, then to cause it to send a counter energy, because there are some sicknesses because of our mindset. We send a lot of negativity in our body. For example, I can cross a rope here. I tell you that rope is wonderful at Tomongpo. Wonderful juju, wonderful medicine. That if you cross, you develop elephantiasis. Once you believe, when you cross it, empty rope, Just because you believe when you cross it, you'll be surprised that you reach home, your leg will start swelling. And you will develop sickness to a level that you cannot get well. It will need another person to work on your psychology, to reverse that thought. People don't know that thoughts have a lot to play with our body. The mind plays the highest role in our body. That is why even people who manipulate us spiritually, what they do is that they send an energy to your subconscious mind. It enters you more, especially when you are sleeping. When it enters, it controls your subconscious mind, then go to the intellect, then send signals that may impair your system, may cause heart failure, may cause kidney failure, depend on how the energy is sent. And you can also work on your subconscious mind, or you can still use the same medium they use to send another energy that work on the reverse.
We are looking at why we fall sick as human beings.
Yes.
I don't know whether you did a history of diseases in the past where our parents are falling sick as often as we do today, and what would account for these strange new diseases that are coming up today, affecting us and causing us to be falling sick all the time?
Yes, I'm coming to that.
Okay.
I'm still trying to talk about the stressor agents.
Okay.
Then I'll come to that. So I was talking about physical stressor agents, the things we eat, they stress our system and we lose vitality. The information we get, wrong information, they impair our mind and we lost a lot of energy. The people we interact with, they affect us either positively or negatively. The environment we live, they affect us either positively or negatively. Those are stressor agents. Our mindset, the food we eat, the environment we live, the people we interact with, we get a lot of energy from them that either impair us and render us vulnerable to infections. Okay, let me start with food. You know, we have diverted a lot from our ancestral diet. And this divergence has caused us to lose energy. The more man goes artificial, I mean, you drift from nature. I earlier said nature is God. The more you go away from nature, means you are going away from God. And nature is a source of life. So the more you go away from nature, means you are going away from the source of life. Means you gradually lost life and you become vulnerable. The world, people have been so educated, so much so that they think they have been taught the truth. And they believe in what they have been educated, and they act the way they have been educated to act. Until this day, people no longer believe in the natural things. It's very common. You see people who have been educated, they're the ones having the shorter lifespan. Now, I've carried out a lot of statistics on that. If you want to see the oldest people in the society, they're the past in the village who eat even with their hands without washing, who sleep on bamboo bed, who live a funny life, live naturally.
Bamboo is nature.
Yes, that's nature.
They sleep.
Yeah, they're more attached to nature. Go there, that way you find the oldest of people. The most educated people who think they're educated, they're the highest with diabetes, hypertension, heart failure, everyday heart attack, they die. They don't live long. And that is why World Health Statistics shows that the health of Africa, the average lifespan is gradually reducing to about 43 years. It means that Africans, even though they live in nature, they have all the prayer warriors, all the churches, all the organs in place, living in nature, their average lifespan is just about 43 years. While that of the Asians, the Chinese, is about 80-something years. While that of Europeans is about 73 years. Why? Something is wrong somewhere. Africans have been caused through poor education to drift away from God, to drift away from Mother Nature. If you go even the way they eat, don't mind if you go to America, Britain, France, and so on, it is the poor people around the streets that just eat anyhow. But if you meet, most of the people there are averagely rich. If you go where they eat, you see the table is green. You see grapes, you see lettuce, you see small vegetables. They eat rich. And that is why they live. Then most of them, you see when they are even eating, they have red wine on the table. Research shows that red wine, natural red wine, here we have the poor wine, acids that are being cooked, and we are deceived that is from grapes.
Yeah, but it's not acid now, doctor.
Most of them are acids.
No, there may be something.
I've carried a lot of research on them.
If we drink acid, we'll die now. They give you acid, we'll die now.
Most of the food we eat are acidic. Even the water we drink.
Yeah, but not the acid. Not the acid to.
No, when we say we have different type of acid, I'm not talking of sulfuric acid.
Okay.
I'm talking of the acid in foods.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see, all these stressor agents lowers human vitality.
Okay.
And it is there are three things that happen to the system that make people sick. If you don't reach that stage, you cannot be sick. What happened? First thing, your vitality goes down once you start taking fuel that is not the right fuel into the body. The second, your body becomes full of morbid matter. It becomes full of accumulated matter. It becomes full of toxic matter, and it poisons your system, impair your system, and you fall sick. There are so many things that go wrong that render you vulnerable, which in the course of the program, as you are asking your questions, I'll start analyzing them.
Okay. Yes, my question is the rate at which we fall sick today compared with what happened in the past. You are someone who has studied.
Yes.
How would you relate or compare our vulnerability to falling sick today with what obtained with your parents?
Yes. You see, today they say there are new diseases. But I want to tell people that there's nothing new on the surface of the earth unless it has been engineered in the laboratory. All diseases that exist today, all what exists has existed before. And there's nothing new under the surface of the earth. Everything that is happening today has happened before. At times, I see some people, when things happen in different parts of the world, they say, hey, the world is soon coming to an end. The world is not ending. Even in church, you say, where would that end? Amen. Once people reach a certain point, the world has a way of readjusting itself and eliminating those that are trying to destroy the earth, and then a new beginning begins. Yes. So people actually fall sick these days more than when they used to fall sick before. You see, in those days, our mothers, they will get pregnant, they will easily give birth at home. You see, a pregnant woman will be alone at home, give birth, cut the umbilical cord, and you didn't hear of tetanus or anything. A woman will be working in the farm even at 9 months, give birth at the farm alone, take care of the baby. You never hear that they operate somebody or somebody want to give birth and die. It was like ABC. Why are our modern women today going through CS before they give birth? They cannot even push. Why? Why? Before, you hardly hear that a child, a young person need lenses. Why is it that you see little children today, they need lenses? Before, our people were not even brushing their mouth that way. Not brushing their mouth that way. But you hardly hear of tooth decay. Why is it that we brush our mouth morning and evening, but we suffer tooth decay and so on? The rate of ill health has increased these days than before because of man divergence from nature. Man has diverted from his original diet that the creator of the universe already instructed man in his mind to live on, because we all have instincts. Animals in the wild live by instincts. They use their mind and they use their instincts to eat, and that is why they eat just what is good for them. That is why they don't need doctors. You hardly find even an animal in the wild fall on a trap, the trap cut the leg, or have accident, break the bone, or anything happen on it, inflicted or beaten by anything toxic. You see, they get well without anybody coming to treat them. But if you come home, our domestic animals, they need veterinary doctors because it is man feeding them. Man is still committing the same error to them, the error is committed to himself. Let me come to where man's wahala started. Man's wahala started during the era of the discovery of fire.
Okay.
Before the discovery of fire, man was like an animal, hardly fall sick. Man was strong. Man can eat poison. Man can step on snakes. Man can live, eat with dirty hands, drink from the gutters, drink dirty water. Like how you go to some villages, it still happens. They drink dirty water. Hardly hear that they get sick. And man was not falling sick. Man's problem started during the era of the discovery of fire. Before, man was eating everything raw. But today, man cook his food. Man bake his food. Man fry his food. Man use heat to destroy almost all what is needed for life in the food before eating. So what man is taking in is poor in vitality, is poor in nutrients. And so man is, with time, man is gradually losing vitality as time progresses. Before, man was eating raw food that is rich in enzymes, rich in hormones, rich in vitamins, and all the minerals. But today, man cook food, some even fry, man roast, kill the vitamins, kill the hormones, kill the enzymes. Because when you eat raw food right from your mouth, the enzymes from the plants, the hormones from the plants, the vitamins start healing you right from your mouth before they enter the stomach. Then, before your body now utilized, activate what is inactive in the plants to use in another form. But today, the modern man has been brainwashed, stupefied to cook his food, to roast his food. Some even fry food and fry it about 300 and something degrees. Fry, kill all life in the food before eating. Man's problem stem from the discovery of fire. Man's problem started when man started cooking food, when man started frying food, starting baking food, starting using fire to kill all life in food before consuming. And we know one of the things that makes somebody strong, one of the elements in plants that make the human body strong is vitamin C. And we know vitamin C is heat sensitive. Temperatures starting from 70 degrees to 100 degrees destroy vitamin C. It means that before your water even start boiling, vitamin C has been destroyed. And vitamin C is one of the highest elements that builds the immune system. It means that most of the food that we eat, vitamin C has been destroyed. All the heat sensitive vitamin have been destroyed. Then what is even left in the food more is minerals, because heat hardly destroy minerals. We mostly take the minerals in the body. Okay. We lack all the vitamin. Vitamin means vital. Something like vital for your life. It's more very important, essential for your life. We destroy what is essential for life. Yep. You see, the animal in the wild, they eat raw food. They don't fry food. They don't cook food. They don't bake food. So all the food each time they eat is 100% medicine and 100% food. Rich in the vitamin, rich in the enzymes, rich in the hormones, and all the mineral and nutrients are intact, and that is why they don't need doctors. If human beings can go back and start living the life they used to live before the discovery of fire, then human beings will come back what the Creator created.
But that's not possible today. Would you advise that we live in the wild with this cold and all of that? Is it possible?
Not living in the wild. Living like we are living, but mostly eating raw food. Raw organic food. Not the one planted with fertilizer. Foods planted with fertilizer are deficient of vitamin and nutrients. Go and look at the composition, the minerals in your fertilizer. Look at them. So I have just about potassium, phosphorus, and other elements, just few. But the food that grow on humus soil has nearly everything that the plant need to be a full plant rich for the for consumption for humans to consume to get life.
You started by talking about the relationship between sin and sickness.
Yes.
Somebody has written from Nigeria, another person, hello Mr. Liu, this is Mr. Ben Elangwe, writing from Gaundar. Please ask your guest to clearly explain the relationship between sickness and sin. I don't really understand how sin leads to sickness. Thanks. Is this just what you are saying, that we were programmed by God to live this way?
Live nature, because God is in nature and nature is in God.
Okay.
God is in us and we are into God. So you live by consuming God.
Okay, natural. We should live by consuming natural food.
The natural, which is God that gives life.
Okay.
You know, when you go to go to some churches. No, let me give example.
Okay.
We are in a religious society.
Yes.
We must always bring these things. You hear they say we eat the body and blood of Jesus to have life. So here, I want people to know the real blood and body of God that you eat to have life. The real blood and body of God that you eat to have life are the plants. The plants have the liquid in it, the sap, which is the blood of God, and the solid part, which is the body of God. That is what you are supposed to eat to have life. If we go back to the story of creation in Genesis, they said God spoke his powerful words. Let me personify it. God spoke his powerful words, and out of the words, everything came to being. It means the word of God became flesh. Are you getting me?
Yes.
The word of God became flesh. Flesh are what? The okomobong, the plantain, and so on. God spoke the words, and out of the word became okomobong, became masopo, became everything. I mean, the word became flesh. The word became what can be seen. Flesh that has mass and water in it. And God said, eat to have life. But today we kill the life before we eat. And many people don't even eat it at all. They go for artificials. The more you drift from nature and start going artificial, you have sinned against God and nature, because you have disconnected yourself from the source of life. The more you live a life that is against the principle of life, the principle that governs earth, you sin against God, which is nature, and you pay a penalty. For example, I will give even poor combination of food. For example, you get up in the morning, you bathe your body, you brush your mouth, the next moment you start eating. Have you bathed your internal? Just imagine that you ate food last night, or you eat food this night. Next morning, there still remains of that food in your stomach, because the cooked food always ferment, decay a lot in the stomach. There remains of the food. You get up in the morning, you bathe your body very well, you brush your mouth very well. How about the internal? Have you cleaned it? No. You get another food, you eat, it goes into the stomach, mixed with the old fermented accumulated one in the stomach. You have broken the law of nature, you have sinned, and disease will set in. You eat, after meal you eat fruits, you have sinned. You are not supposed to eat fruit after meal. You don't mix, cook and raw things together. It causes fermentation, they give diseases. You eat and drink water the same time. You have sinned against nature. You are not supposed to eat and drink water at the same time. Even in the wild, the animals in the wild don't eat and drink water at the same time. They eat and eat and eat. They have special time that they go to the stream to drink water.
Yeah, but what while you are eating, you're thirsty. How do you?
Why should you be thirsty? It means it's bad food. When you are eating and you are thirsty, it's either addiction. You are suffering from addiction because you have trained yourself to eat and drink because you were taught so, or you are eating bad food. For me, I cannot remember when I eat and drink water. I cannot remember. But most of the time when I'm eating, water stands, but I don't drink. In case of any emergency. I cannot remember. For years, I've never eaten and drank water. I've stayed in for hours. You eat and you drink water at the same time. Why will you not fall sick? Mother Nature has made you in such a way that you have a certain acid in your stomach called HCl, hydrochloric acid. And the pH is around 2, very little pH. A pH that can melt even blades. That pH is made so that when you eat food that contain microbes or germ or anything bad, when it enters your stomach, it mixes with that acid, and that acid burn everything, sterilizing the germ, kill the germ. Then you eat and you drink the same time, you have neutralized the acid. You raise the pH of the acid. So all the germ that in that food will enter and harm you. And when you fall sick, you start going for prayers. You sin against nature by eating and drinking water at the same time, or by eating and drinking anything at the same time. You are not supposed to eat and drink water, because you weaken the acid that is supposed to sterilize the food. People prepare salad. Why do they wash the vegetable with vinegar? To kill germ. So God has put natural acid in our stomach, that you eat all the food. That is, you eat and eat and eat. The acid destroy any germ that is on it. But we eat and drink water and neutralize the acid. So the germ enter, typhoid enter, all sorts of disease, and harm us. You eat wrong fruits together. Even animals don't just eat fruits anyhow. They know that choice. I've carried out research on that. They don't just eat fruits. There are certain fruits, they don't combine them. Animals know that. Even monkeys know. You eat pawpaw, the same time you eat watermelon. You have sinned against nature. People think that sin is just with the 10 commandments. No. Sin, the real sin is when you break a principle of nature. It means you have sinned against nature, and nature is God.
Yeah, but what you're saying here, doctor, is a pure nutrition lesson that I think we should dedicate a day to teach on what to eat and what not to eat.
But that is what brings disease, and it ties with the topic.
It ties with the topic. What I'm saying is that it is very important. And it is essential for people to know how and what to eat and what not to eat.
Not to eat, yes.
Yes, because many persons are ignorant of these things that we are saying.
Yeah, they are ignorant.
That you are supposed to flush your system before adding food. That's what you're saying. Yeah,
you clean. Why you spend? Because we spend so much time on the outside, forgetting the inside.
How do you clean the inside? Okay,
let me just give you an example. How do you clean the inside? You clean the inside physically and spiritually.
Okay.
For example, when I get up, when I'm bathing, I don't just bathe like a normal human being. Bathing for me is a whole worship. It's a whole sermon. When I'm rubbing, it's a whole sermon. I don't just bathe and rub like a normal human being. Bathing like me, I meditate when I'm bathing for a purpose. And I know what I used to bathe. When I'm rubbing my oil, it's a whole sermon. I know what I used to rub, like rubbing oil, is a whole sermon.
Is it from nature? Since you say we should.
It's a whole ritual.
Okay.
It's a whole ritual. Let me use that word, the right word, the church ritual.
Is it a natural ritual?
Whether natural or artificial is a ritual, is a ritual.
No, but you said we are sick because we have moved away from nature.
That I'm saying it's a whole ritual.
Okay.
It's a natural ritual. Because before I bathe with water, I need to know the water I'm bathing with. Before I rub my oil, I need to know what I'm rubbing on my body. One law of nature says, apply on your body only what is edible. Don't apply on your body or on your skin what you cannot eat. It's a challenge I pose to the people who are watching this program. What you apply on your body every day, can you eat it? Because whatever you apply on your skin, within 25 to 36 seconds, it penetrates into your blood. That is where I'm coming about diet. One part of diet. What you know, people think that when we talk about diet is only what enters your mouth. Let me explain a bit about diet. Because all the sins that we committed comes through diet. Diet is what you hear. What you hear, you listen, is part of your diet. What you see is part of the diet. What you apply, what you use to bathe or rub on your skin is part of your diet. What you take as enema, or they call it local parampom, is part of your diet. What you take through your mouth is part of the diet. The people you react with is part of your diet. You gradually become the people you react with. The environment you live is part of your diet. The home, the bed you sleep, and the chair you sit on is part of your diet. Because everything is about energy. The chair you sit on can either heal you or give you disease. The bed you lie on can either heal you or give you disease. The people you interact with, you can either tap positive energy or negative energy that will either heal you or give you disease. What you listen to will either build you positively or negatively, mean either heal you or give you disease. What you apply on your skin will either heal you or give you disease. What you smell will either heal you or give you disease. What you eat or drink will either heal you or give you disease. What you step or walk on We either heal you or give you disease. So when we talk of diet, it's not only what enter your mouth. It's what enter your body through all the different routes that anything can penetrate your body. And that is why when you come to holistic medicine, diet is not limited to the food that what enters your mouth. Diet is very broad. The environment you interact is your diet. Your home is your diet. The people you interact with is your diet. What you hear is your diet. What you smell is your diet. What you see is your diet. What you drink and eat is your diet. What you bathe with and rub is your diet.
Yes, some persons would want to get clarification on what you just said. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I want to appreciate you for hosting this very enriching program. The point, can you please ask Dr. Fru why the whites who also eat cooked food have a longer life expectancy than us? I really don't understand how the fact that we eat cooked food can grossly be seen as a pointer factor for our short life. I strongly believe we die young because of ignorance, bad eating habits, and poverty. Simplest non-fact is writing, but there is somebody who is also concerned about this issue of cooked food.
Yes.
Are you saying that we should be living on raw food in the 21st century?
They will be more civilized if we start living on raw food. Means we are becoming more civilized, because now man has become less and less civilized. The more man civilized, he goes back to nature and start living the right way. So if we start going back and living more on raw food, it means man is gradually gaining self-awareness and becoming more conscious and more civilized.
We should eat raw meat?
Man was not made to eat meat.
Okay.
If you look at our dental formula, we're not made to eat meat. But man gradually inserted himself in the ranks of carnivores. Man was meant to eat the herbs and so on. A man was meant to use the sap from the plants to heal his own sap. Use the liquid from the plant to heal your sap, because the plants have been endowed with the natural mechanisms, and they alone have been endowed with the natural mechanism to get all the dirty things from the earth, the toxic iron, the toxic manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, and so on. Get all the things from the earth, get the bad air and all what in the universe, then combine them through photosynthetic processes and other processes to produce food and medicine for itself. Because what the plant produces, first of all, is for itself, to heal itself, and then other things to come and benefit from the plants. Because no plants, no life. Even students in the schools, secondary schools, it comes to in GCE, no plants, no life. Discuss. No plants, no life. They produce the oxygen, they produce the food and medicine we are supposed to depend on. They have the exclusive mechanism due to the fact that man has neglected the plants, and now going artificial, we now get synthesized potassium, synthesized calcium, synthesized things that have been synthesized in the lab. Now we consume them. Our liver is not trying to do the duty of the plants. And what happened? Our liver become poisoned, and we start having liver problem. Our immunity, vitality start dropping because the system is poisoned, the liver poisoned, the system poisoned, because our liver is trying to do the work of the plants, but the mechanism to get toxic things from the earth, purified and make them consumable, is exclusively for the plants. The man is supposed to get the refined products and consume. But we have been deceived. We divert and start eating synthesized calcium, synthesized magnesium, things that are produced in the lab. When we consume now, they're toxic, and our liver cannot do the work of the plants.
We have plants that are poisonous also.
I say plants that are edible. They are poisonous, but other things are eating, because everybody, you have what is good for you. The insects, we have millions of different species of living things. What is poisonous for you, you'll surprise other things are eating them. So eat what you are supposed to eat. Allow what the insects is meant only for them, what is meant for the monkeys, what is meant for the lizards.
You have a problem with cooked food, because according to you, if it is cooked to some degree, the vital elements are destroyed. Yes, but the medicine that comes out of your laboratory,
yes,
are some of them not cooked? Have they not gone through some temperature, or you just get them? And how do you preserve them? How do you work on them before serving patients?
Yeah, that is a very interesting question. We'll answer it before we go to the question somebody posed.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that is very interesting. if you come to Geneva, even people will bear me witness. Most of our medicine are taken raw, they're in powder form. You throw in your mouth and drink water, or you stir in water or in warm water and drink. You don't boil. Just few are boiled. The few that are boiled were interested in getting the minerals in them, not the vitamins. But those that want the vitamin, the enzyme, the hormones, they are taken raw. Before, when I was still growing, I used to boil everything and so on. But since I went deep into research, discovered a lot. 98% of my medicines are taken raw. Just very few. I have more than 200 different brands of medicine. Maybe just about 4 or 5, they boil them. The rest are taken raw. Just powder form. And how do we preserve them? The medicine, how do you preserve something natural? Mostly medicines. And I want my colleague, traditional doctors, to get this information. Because when we go around, at times we see a lot of medicines in containers under the sun and so on. They are there, some already fermented, some open, they can explode and so on. I used to commit those errors when I was still research in my early days in the 90s. Yes, but I've improved a lot to a certain level. And those medicines, most of the time, they have boiled them, they have lost vitality. Some they steep them, yes, those have their vitality. But under the sun has hit them. Some have lost a lot of nutrients, a lot of reaction has taken place. Let them prepare their medicine in powder form. My colleagues in natural medicine, prepare your medicine in powder form. That is the best way to preserve anything that is natural. Deactivate the hormones, deactivate the enzymes, deactivate all chemical activities in natural things by removing water. You know, biological reactions take place in liquids, in water. Biological reaction in organic substances take place in water. So if you want to stop biological reaction, make sure you remove all the water, not frying or passing through heat. I see some of my colleagues, they want to produce plants, they go and buy heaters, they pass through temperature that will even destroy most of the elements and so on. At the end of the packet, they don't really work well. Use normal sun rays. Normal sun rays. You dry your plants in the right way. You deactivate the plants, make the inert. People study chemistry here of inert gases, mean gases that don't react. Make the medicine, the plants inert, mean that they will not undergo any biological reaction unless they are hydrolyzed. It means unless in the presence of water before they can react, or any liquid that has water. So they become hydrolyzed when you consume them into the body. That is when water come in contact and they activate all what was inert, and then the enzyme activated, the hormone activated, your body start functioning, and then you utilizing them. Then there's a question. Okay. There's one question you read. Somebody asked. We have not yet treated it.
Yeah, there are so many questions, doctor.
No, the one you just asked, you read.
Somebody asked about, he talked about cooked food.
No, there was a question before that one. Very interesting.
Let me see. Hello, good evening, please. Does Dr. Fu mean that after buying huckleberry from the market, we shouldn't cook them or to keep our
okay, no, that is not the question.
Nelson from Yaoundé. This one says, please ask Dr. Fu why he boils leaves and give people in the name of drugs, okay? Mr. Lu, even
I think I've tried that one.
Okay, even the drying will kill the vitality, okay? Let me see.
Yeah, what the drying that kills the vitality is when you use heat.
Okay, good evening. Thanks to our doctor for the interesting lectures on our feeding habits, but please read more on hormones and enzymes before we draw conclusions, okay? Good evening, Mr. Lee. I want to appreciate the hosting. Can you please ask Dr. Fro why the whites who also eat cooked food have a longer life expectancy than us? I really don't understand how the facts. Yes.
Yeah. Let me. Somebody said I should read more on hormones before I lecture about that. Yes, I know where the person is driving on.
Okay.
But let me try to say something. Maybe the person will understand what I mean here. Yes. I earlier said we know that hormones are protein. Hormones more often are protein. The enzyme more often are proteinous. Heat denatured them. So what has been denatured, can it still function in your body? Your body will only digest it to use as food. But we want you to take them live, because as they enter your system, they are already working. They are working. Don't take hormone that you have killed. Don't take enzymes that you have destroyed. Those one, when you denature hormones, enzymes, you are not using them like food. You digest them to use as food. But I mean, they are supposed to enter your body and start working, doing what they do in the plants, live. So you don't kill them. You don't denature them. Then coming to that question, yes. The whites, I earlier said, it is the poor around, and the poor among them are few. The rich, when you go to their home, visit them in their home. Don't bother about what we see on TV. When you go to their home, see the way they eat. Most of them, you go to their table, you see it's green. More green. It is the poor. The poor, they don't live long. It's more green. Greener. But here, you see somebody get on the morning with coat and tie, I just bought bread, put beans inside and eating. You just go around. Yeah, the person was right. Poverty, brainwash. We have been brainwashed. We don't eat for a purpose. We eat to cool down hunger. But if we start eating for a purpose, then we'll ask questions before we eat. And once you start asking questions before you eat, it means you are now rising to a degree of consciousness. And once you become more conscious of what you eat, asking questions before you eat food, you think about your health. What is your health situation? What do you need and what don't you need to put inside there?
But doctor, let's go traditionally.
Yes.
We know that our parents lived longer.
Yes.
Eating the traditional meals that
yes.
we have. Let's take the guys of Mezan.
Yes.
They eat their achuna.
Yes.
Pounded. Our parents did that.
Yes.
You go down to Menchum and Dunga Mantung, they eat fufukon and
yes.
jama cooked.
Yes.
Then you go to the Bayangi land, you have eru and watafufu.
Yes.
Also cooked. You come to the Bakuris, they have their kwakuku.
Yes.
Also cooked. But our parents, this is what they lived on.
No, the parents who have been doing a lot of this, their lifespan has been decaying with time. It means their lifespan has been reducing with time. If you go to what our ancestors ate, they were not preparing food the way our present parents are preparing. They might have eaten their chew when they discover fire and they start diverting. That is when man's problem. You see, before man used to live longer, 200 years, 300 years, even at 150, we still go to the farm, carry bamboos and so on and so forth. These our parents that we grew and knew. Were they as strong as those people we used to hear of? Their energy keep dropping and dropping and dropping with time because of divergence from originality, divergence from the original lifestyle, eating more raw. Even during my child age, when I was still small, going to the farm with my grandmother, we ate a lot of raw things in the farm. We ate raw cassava. We were working in the farm, eat raw granite and eat. Ask how many people eat raw granite now. We're eating raw sweet potato. We eat raw sweet potato and get full in the farm. Ask how many people eat raw sweet potatoes. We ate so many things raw. Monkey sugar cane. Ate all sorts of things. Ask how many people even still know those things. How many? Those things were compensating a lot with the error, compensating or attuning to the sins we commit by eating raw food.
Yes, but instead of outrightly saying that people should eat raw food, are you not rather suggesting that we go more for organic food?
Raw is different from being organic. You can eat raw, but it's not organic. And you can still boil the nonsense that the GMOs, the GMO is already bad, that is genetically modified foods or organisms. Then you cook again. Mean the little things inside, you cook again, you destroy most of them. So the cook or organic food is even a bit better than the cook a GMO. Not all foods, even food plant or GMO planted again with fertilizer. There are GMOs that are planted with fertilizers. Those ones tell the scale of energy. When you want to classify foods, they tell the scale of energy. So it means at the end of the day, just imagine you get up in the morning, like your nice car outside there, because you have been educated and told that olive oil dirty is nasty. They get this, oh, they're so bright in bottles. olive oil or vegetable oil that look good, put it in the car. What will happen with that car? Because olive engine oil look dirty. In the same way, we have been educated that the natural look dirty. It's not appealing to the eye. You see those things flashing bottles, flashing packet. Yes, go to the shop and buy them and eat. When you eat them, you are civilized. You see how stupid we have been made? I will go for them, and that is why we have diverted from nature. We have gone far from nature and come short of the secret gifts of life buried in Mother Nature. And that is where our problem is. Going back to Mother Nature, we start regaining the energy.
Yeah, what you're saying to some extent, I've had some persons on this program,
yes,
who say that it is ironical that those who have money in Europe, like you just said,
yes,
are going for organic food that is coming from Africa.
Yes.
But Africans who consider themselves civilized are those who go to the shops and buy imported stuff, which comparatively are low in standard.
Yes, and that is why you see, during the era of COVID, it is those rich people who were dying, the poor people eating in the streets, the mad people moving in the street, living in a dead bin, and so on. They were not dying. It is those people, just take the statistics. It is those people that were dying. The people who are rich in Africa, we have been over brainwashed. And those who have money, they think going to shops, buying the flashy things is an expression of wealth. They are the ones they hire with the diabetes, obesity, heart attacks, strokes, and so on. While the poor man, he may look funny, cranky, but is strong, healthy, resist all disease because it's eating more. I will not say the best things, more of the best things. If you go to Europe, it's instead the reverse. The poor there, they don't have money to buy the organic food that are coming from Africa because they are most expensive to buy them and eat. But the rich, they are buying them and eat because they are more enlightened. With us in Africa, we say the war is more mental. Africa are the most brainwashed. The brainwash is high. The rich, they go for what is considered death, thinking that they're enjoying and killing themselves, while the poor live on the real food that the rich think the poor are suffering.
But doctor, you are getting many persons confused today. Yes. Cocoyams, you cannot eat raw cocoyams.
You cannot eat raw, better don't eat.
You cannot eat raw beans.
What you cannot eat, as you are unable to eat cocoyams,
yes,
because they are raw. But you see insects eating. A caterpillar eating them means meant for them. So it was not meant for you to eat. What you cannot eat raw, you have to cook before you eat. Then don't eat it. It's not for you. Other things is meant for those things that can eat raw. The caterpillar will eat the cocoyam raw. Insects, ants will eat the cocoyam raw, and it's good for them.
But doctor, you eat that too.
Yeah, I eat a chew.
Why do you eat
because I grew and made it like that. And I've been moving away from eating a lot of cooked food.
Okay.
I can eat cooked food just once in a day or once in 24 hours.
You eat green.
I eat more green.
Okay.
I eat more raw.
Okay.
Yes.
Good evening. This is Mr. Ngo. I'm writing from Douala. Please ask Dr. Fru. His medicines are not cooked before bottling, or his medicines grind raw or bottling. I'm sure you have answered.
I think we have tried that.
Yep.
The person did not follow.
Yes.
I say most of our medicines are raw in powder. You throw in your mouth and drink water. We don't dry them using fire or heat and so on. We dry them naturally using normal sun rays in the right way to dry. And then we preserve them. We have a way we treat them, and people take them raw. Just about 2% or 3% of our medicines, people prepare them. And those that are boiled, we are more interested in the minerals in them to use in healing. But those that were interested with the nutrients, most to get all the nutrients, the vitamins and so on, they take them raw.
Yes, but people also get sick because not only because of the food they take, but also because of spiritual issues. We have spiritual influences that overpower our system and cause us to be sick, and if care is not taken, we end up dying.
Also, bodies to food. I mentioned that. I mentioned about stressor agents.
Okay.
Stressor agents. I talk about spiritual stressor agents. I talk about mental stressor agents. I talk about physical stressor agents. It's just that I say it's coded, which in the code I will be breaking them down. Yeah, what is spirit? You see, Religion has over-brainwashed us. Many people, even those who move around making out here, and they don't even know what is spirit. What is spirit? Spirit is a force that exists that the human frequency, the eye cannot see. That is why, have you ever asked why they call hot drink spirits? They call hot drink spirits because in the process of producing, where they heat what has been fermented, it tends to air spirit, what you cannot see, before it being condensed to what you see. It means the physical tend to spirit, then condensed by spirit has been condensed to give liquid. They call them spirit. A spirit is something that exists, a force that exists that the human eye cannot see. So every force, even if I type a picture here, a video, it appears in your phone, the material here tend to spirit, enter your phone convert the spirit back to physical. That's how it is. The material world is a manifestation of the immaterial. I earlier said, nature is God. Man is God. God is in you and you are in God. It means you are God. You carry God in you. Everything has God in it. The Okomobon has God in it, or the Spirit of God in it. Everything that exists has the Spirit of God in it. When you consume nature, you are consuming the Spirit of God that gives you power above whether physical, spiritual, or whatsoever. That is why plants are the best against all what they call spiritual factors. They don't need your faith. People come to us, they are moved to all sorts of places looking, whether spiritual husband, spiritual wife, or whatsoever, and so on. But all those things are energies. Because in one of my lectures, I said there is nothing actually like spiritual husband, spiritual wife. But I thought we'll just use those terms for please people who have been religiously brainwashed. There are negative energy. When I was carrying out my lab research, a research with one doctor who is a spiritual person in 1996. One evening he said, Dr. Fru, I know you are Thomas. You want to see everybody believe. There's an armed robber here. He's threatening me in this village. I want him to disappear in this village tomorrow. I'll beat him this night. You'll see. And the thing works only when you are sleeping because you have to enter your subconscious. In the evening, he took me. And me at night around 3 a.m. was time when you know the person is sleeping. Around 3 a.m. He took me out. He harvested just 2 plants. And you have to do the thing but on an electric pole. Because the thing will send the energy, the high tension or the current that is flowing in the electric pole that will carry it and send it to the source. He harvested a single plant, then just took an alagata pepper, chew it, and he used the electric pole to represent that person. I was calling that person, you retry me for this village, I will deal with you. I'm punching your eyes. Bye! Slapping the electric pole, slapping. And the same moment he was slapping that person. That person got up the next morning, the eyes were swollen, the mouth swollen. And that very day, he disappeared from that village. That armed robber. That's why you call witchcraft. There is science. Somebody can want to deal with you. Say, okay, I will feed this man today. Go and take rotten fish and so on. Go and harvest some few plants. Go somewhere with something to represent you. That prepared is poison. Feeding that thing and that moment you are eating in the dream. Or the person is now say, okay, I will deal with you today. I will sleep with you. I will deal with you. Represent you somewhere and do something and somebody is sleeping with you. And you get up, you spend your time praying against spiritual husband. You don't know that it's a force, an energy. Just like manipulative phone, things appear in your phone. Being manipulation where send out a spirit, because everything has a spirit. The plants, everything, waters, and so on. Send out a spirit, which they call energy in science, or frequency, a spirit. It goes and enter the subconscious of the human being, which is the processing unit. Then from there, sent to the intellect. You start seeing pictures, interpret the pictures, and other people are chasing you, or people are sleeping, you are eating. I get start saying, oh, I buy spiritual husband, I do this. Whereas it's not it's a human being. Most of what happened to us, then people should leave spirit and demons aside. The demons are human beings. They are the one manipulating and sending things to manipulate your destiny, your life, and so on. Not that there's a fault. Everywhere is covered by normal fault. You use it the way you want.
So what you're saying is that when people fall sick from spiritual sources, it is coming from other human beings.
It's human beings. manipulating the person.
Yeah, but
you can use water, you can use plants, you can use stones, you can use even this phone. Speed. You can activate this phone, only call somebody's name, and the person is manipulating in the dream.
Yeah, but these are spiritual forces that are causing.
These are energies. Life is all about energy. You are energy. If I die today, there's an energy in me that lives back to its source for other duties. When anything die, the wood, when you burn the wood, don't you see energy come from it, and you cook your pot with it? They give you kerosene, your bed with it, but when you strike a match, you see the normal energy that comes out can burn everything. Petrol, everything is embedded with energy, but it is like a innate. The energy is innate, but just sending out just a threshold of energy that helps things to move. But it needs people who have the knowledge to activate. Energy is buried in plants in different frequencies. Every plant has its frequency, and every part of the plant has a frequency. Just like as you are sitting there, you have the frequency at which your eyes operate, the frequency of your brain, your frequency of your heart, the frequency of your kidneys, and so on. Everything about you is a frequency. When a germ penetrates your body, it goes and looks where the frequency is weak, that its own frequency is higher, and that is where it affects. The germ cannot dare where there's high frequency. That is where we'll come to where maybe during the program or another program where I'll start talking about how to have dominion above all evil in such a way that you drink water, bad water, step where there's evil and nothing happens.
Yes, we've seen why we get sick physically from what we eat, and also spiritually.
Our lifestyle.
Spiritually, using the energies you just explained. But I think that our lifestyle also could cause us to
our lifestyle
excessive consumption of alcohol, excessive consumption of cigarettes, and a host of others.
Yeah.
It could also
let me just explain a bit about that, because it ties with the topic. We get sick because of what we do to ourselves and the environment, or fail to do to ourselves and the environment in which we live.
You describe that as sin.
We get sick starting from what we hear. What you hear, you keep in your brain, it starts distorting your mind and sending negative signals that impair your system, weaken your immunity. What you see, it affects your mind, either positive or negative. If it's negatively, it starts sending negative signals, it weaken your immunity. What you apply on your body, whether water you bathe or rubbing oil, it starts killing your white blood cells and so on. If it's negative or bad, poison your system, enter your blood, poison your system, weaken you and make you vulnerable to infections. What you eat, either it weakens you or it builds your body. And the people you interact with, there are some people just looking at them, you go back home, you fall sick. There are some people, once they greet you, they send negative energy in you, and some they greet you, they send positive energy. That is why it's not advisable to just move and be just greeting people, just greeting people anyhow. There are some people you greet, you tap blessings. There are some people you greet, it's negative energy. Instead, tap your blessings. Instead, make you sick. They are full of negative energy. That's your environments full of negative energy. You must change the environment before you can get well. Once you live there, you have wonderful battle in your life. The environment is concentrated with negative energy and so on. It makes you sick, weakens you, it poisons you. You have to change to another environment before you can get well. The lifestyle, the people you deal with, the environment, all of this weaken us and make us sick.
Okay, it makes us sick.
Yes.
Let's look at how to overcome this, because many persons have listened.
Yes.
They're even confused. Let's take the case of the feeding that is causing us to get sick.
Yes.
How do we make sure that through our feeding habits we stay healthy and immune to all of these diseases that are plaguing the world today?
Yes, I want that people should listen to the few of us who are out to cause change in the society. You know, people think that because somebody has PhD, has masters, it means the person knows a lot. I visited one of my brother. The wife has PhD in food and nutrition, and the wife was in the kitchen preparing, baking cakes and so on, doing her research and so on. And when I saw the way she's preparing the things, I wept. Because what I saw was not what I know, which is not the truth. But the person has PhD. The person has even written books that are even used in schools for food and nutrition, has PhD in food and nutrition. You know, we have been so brainwashed that we believe in certificates. We don't know that certificates are only given depending on how people study, get material as the system wants, and once it's been validated, they give you the certificate. It doesn't mean that when somebody has PhD, it means that the person knows the truth. You'll be surprised. You'll meet people with PhD in food and nutrition. They will bake cakes with sugar, and we know that sugar is the worst of thing for health. The worst thing that anybody will ever consume is refined sugar. Is the worst thing that promotes the growth of bacteria in the body, promote the growth of cancers, that bring heart attacks, that destroy our vein, cause inflammations in the body. Sugar is what breeds all evil in the system. It's worse than alcohol that has no sugar. But people don't know that if somebody takes, that is a bottle of any sugary drink is worse than even 20 bottles of beer. What is even bad in beer? The formalin they put in it to preserve and so on, the alcohol that control people's minds. People don't know the harm of sugar. I've carried out special research, even in the laboratory. When we are cultivating bacteria on agar or the medium or media, you have to treat the medium or the media or the agar with sugar, with sweet thing before bacteria can really grow. Without which germ will not grow. So you see, that is why sugars fall at the acidic pH range. Those are the things that make our body acidic. People who eat a lot of sugar, their blood is acidic, their fluids are acidic. And we know germ diseases, including cancers and metabolic disease, only develop in acidic blood. They hardly develop in alkaline blood, or a system whose blood and fluids or the lymphatic system is alkaline in nature. So that is what people don't know. So if people want to get help from a nutritionist on how to eat and live, I will advise you go to a holistic doctor or somebody who is a master, not somebody who has PhD in food and nutrition. Buy all the food and nutrition books around written by PhD people. You will see all the cakes and so you see the thing they use in making them. Those are things that will give you disease, but they have the PhDs. So people should be careful with degrees. Be careful. Go for Asabi, not I have this degree. Meet people who are experts, naturalists, maybe to counsel you on your diet, so that they will place you on diets that you live on and turn your blood to alkaline, from acid to alkaline, because it is alkaline blood, acidic blood, that is bringing all the wahala that we have due to our lifestyles. The thing we rub on our body, the things we inhale, the air we inhale, the waters we use, they are toxic, all the bad food and so on, they poison our system.
Yeah, spiritually, how do we overcome? Because you say these are energies that come to subdue the existing energies in our system. How do we also build, embolden our energies through the things we consume, through the environment and the exercises we engage in, to make sure that these negative energies don't overcome the existing ones in our bodies?
I like the way you're only tracking me to the spiritual. See the way I look at you smiling.
Yes, because many persons are confused. Yeah.
Yes. I earlier said everything has a spirit of God in it, anything natural. Mm-hmm. And they are of different frequency. Mm-hmm. That is why plants will work against spiritual problems more than even prayer, more than anything. Plants, oh God, just take a poison here. Let me just say 2 people take poison. Why another one goes for prayer, another one just know the plant that is anti-poison. Harvest and eat. That plant is a true word of God. Take and eat and get healed. The other one who is going for prayer will surely die. The 99% of chances that will die. Let a demon is in you, or negative energy is in you. You just know the plant. that you eat or bathe with or burn and cover or rub, the demon disappear without your faith. Because you charge your system, you create and you raise your body frequency. Why the person there that have been praying for 40-day fasting and prayer, maybe some will even die because of fasting without even achieving. I'm not saying that fasting is not good. Fasting is one of the best methods in healing because it helps you burn down a lot of evil in your system that has accumulated, block the active sites of your cells, block the active sites of your enzymes. You are liberated of that bondage in your system, and then your body regain life as I'm functioning. They're able to utilize the energy that you take in to give you dominion. That is the importance of fasting too in healing. But if you want to be spiritually strong, visit the plants. There are plants of different frequency, of different energy levels. You meet experts, they will show you. The one that you are eating, sleeping and dreaming and you are eating, but somebody manipulating, you eat and it stop. Or you just rub or bathe and use it, stop. The one that you say you have spiritual husband, somebody manipulating, there's a plant that you harvest and eat or burn or rub and so on. Raise your body frequency. And it is because life is all about frequency. I think I mentioned that here in my last program. Life is all about frequency.
Okay.
Microbes, viruses have a frequency in which they operate. They only operate around 58 to 62 megahertz. Bacteria, they have one of the lower frequency, around 40-something megahertz. That's why viruses are stronger than bacteria. The human body has its frequency. The liver has its frequency. The kidney has its frequency. The brain has its frequency. All the part has its frequency. But the human body, you start catching colds, catarrh, and so on, when your body frequency drop below 65 megahertz. When you are from 65 upward, like there are 1,000 koro, like there are 1,000 viruses that are useless in your body.
Yeah, but this what you're explaining are spiritual issues now. How does somebody who is in Muya now build their system to be permanently above 65, like you said?
Okay. Since you are only dragging me to you don't want me to finish that topic. Let me go to that.
The problem is
many people are saying a lot.
They are concerned, yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you want to build your spiritual power, the first thing is cleansing.
Okay.
The first thing is cleansing. As you clean the outside, you bathe in the morning. In the morning, you clean your mouth. Also make sure you clean the inside. If you don't know the right plans to use, you have not come to experts like us, water is one of the first medicine, one of the best for cleansing. Every morning do water therapy. Start with water therapy. Adults, 1.5 liter of water, even though some orthodox doctors say 1.5, is too much depending on their education they were given. You start with 1.5 liter of water. Those who are beginners, you can start with 2 glasses of water, gradually go to 3, 4, then go to 1.5 liter of water. Every morning, first thing after you bathe, you clean your mouth, you take the water, or you start with the water before bathing and so on. Then you do your spiritual cleansing. You pray, you meditate, build your power. Like Christians, when you go to the book of Job, they say, have you commanded the morning? Some people get up, they don't command the day to function. You don't know that you are God. If you read, I like to quote those books because people like to use them because our way is a Christian way. If it was a Muslim way, I will also quote. I will quote in the Quran. If you read Psalms 82 verse 6, for ye are gods. For ye are gods. If you read John 10:34, they said, the Lord asked, that is it not written in your law that I said ye are gods? You know, we don't know that we are gods. You spend your time calling one particular person man of God, man of God. They also know that you are man of God. We are gods, children of the universe, children of the Creator. The Creator is in us and we are inside the Creator. So we are a cosmos in a bigger cosmos. So the best way to be fine, strong, with strong immunity, first thing in the morning, do water, carry out water therapy. Take enough water for adults who are already used to it. 1.5 liters of water you take. After that, you pee and stew well. You have removed a lot of uric acid, a lot of even. Then you continue with fruits, or you go into herbs tea. you take herbs tea to continue on the detoxification and cleansing. Then after that, you go into fruits. Fruits now is the last cleansing, because at that moment the fruit is cleansing you and also giving you nutrients. It's the last cleansing. Then you start thinking of eating dead food as from afternoon. See, we are addicted to dead food. Cooked food, fried food, baked food, we call them dead food. Food that has no life. Anything that has passed through heat is dead. Dead food is not living, so it has no life. So you can decide now to start eating your dead food in the afternoon. By then you have cleansed the inside, also clean the outside, also purify your body. Then you prepare, because you don't get up in the morning, you start putting food in all places that you ate last night without washing them. So you don't get up in the morning, you start putting food in the stomach that you ate food last night, the fermented food and so on, nasty thing in it. You start putting new food on it without cleaning it. You start water therapy, then continue with herbs tea, then finally with fruits. They start thinking of eating maybe as from 2 p.m. Yes. After 4 p.m., you don't put that nonsense again in your system. Maybe you can continue now with vegetable salad or raw things to continue purifying and having vim and vitality.
Yeah, and you say we don't eat fruits after food.
You don't eat fruits after meal. It's not. You don't eat cook and raw things together. It depends on the type of food. Because you know, we have been so brainwashed that at times when we say food, people only think of what we eat. Water is food.
Okay.
Water is food. Anything that you take into you that will give you nutrients is food. Whether raw or cooked is food. But it depends now on the level of energy in them. So what we mean is that you don't eat fruits after you eat cooked things. You don't eat fruits after eating vegetable. Fruits don't move with vegetable. It will cause fermentation. Most people suffer pies, brain problem, and so on, nerve. You see, some people come, oh, I have cramps, and so on. Every day they are drinking the calcium tablet. They don't know that the body is toxic and so on. It needs detoxification. But you are there drinking only calcium tablets every day. So you clean the body, purify the body. There's no medicine that is perfect as cleaning. Because, as I earlier said, there are 3 things that will make somebody sick. Low vitality, accumulation of morbid or waste matter or toxins in the body that will make somebody fall sick. Once you have somebody who can help you, even one thing, just one medicine, and this one comes where this my other brother at the Orthodox side, since their own methods of healing is different, how can one medicine cure so many diseases? One medicine can remove 1,000 diseases in the body. It depends on the type of medicine. When you are a naturalist, those questions can only come from the Orthodox that are trained that when somebody has 100 gem in the body, you target by the gem. In natural medicine, we don't target gem. We don't target things in the body. We work on the human health. We believe that the first thing when your house is dirty, excreta here, dead here, fermented food, you don't target by the gem. The best medicine to keep your house pure is cleansing. You clean the house and the 1,000 microbes will disappear. So when your house is dirty, just one morbid in your system, it will breed hundreds of germs, different varieties, that will cause liver problem, heart problem, kidney, this and so on, bring rheumatism, arthritis, gout. But if you can take in one medicine well researched and produced, that will go into the system, remove the toxins in your system, remove the morbid in your system, the accumulated waste, then remove then pump in energy in your system through the nutrients loaded in them. You get healing from whatsoever generated from your system due to the morbid, which you call a media, that they grew on.
Okay. Good evening to you in the studio. I'm Kuni, writing from Yaoundé. Please ask, is eating honey good or bad since it is sugar? Greetings, Dr. Fru Mogris. Thanks for making us think out of the box. Okay. Please, we really need Dr. Fru to lecture us on what to eat and not to eat. Hearing what we cannot be eaten raw was not meant for us to eat. I wonder what it do. He said, green, does he really eat them raw? Glory is writing from Yaoundé. I'm sure Doctor clarified that. But, Doctor, this person's...
Yeah, I'll start with that with honey.
Yes.
Yeah. You eat honey depending on your state of health. Notwithstanding the fact that honey is good for health, it's also bad for some people.
Okay.
People have diabetes. You're not advised to eat honey. And it depends on the type of diabetes too. Because honey is very rich in natural saccharin. When you eat pure honey, you see that when you eat it sweet, after some time it's a bit bitter in your throat. It is that saccharin, in it, natural saccharin, that is bitter in your throat, which is not good for you, for people who have diabetes. I'm surprised that some people give medicine for diabetes with honey. No, it's an error. And it depends on the type of diabetes. Yeah, let me not go into that, because we have different types of diabetes. You have diabetes insipidus, which is a false diabetes, which you urinate a lot due to the failure of the hormone ADH, antidiuretic hormone, that regulate the reabsorption of water and nutrient back into the system from the kidney. But you have the another diabetes mellitus, where you have type 1 and type 2. You have that due to the failures of the Langerhans in the pancreas and so on. Yes, then you also have that due to impairment at the level of the cell cannot utilize the insulin that you produce to burn down sugar, because you have lived a lifestyle that has impaired a lot there, leading to insulin resistance. Yes, but no matter which type, we don't advise people to take honey when you have diabetes.
Okay.
Then the other question.
No, this person is asking that you should tell how to overcome negative energy, but I'm sure you just explained that.
I'll just explain that. How do you overcome negative energy? First thing, don't believe in those who preach about demons every day. They're the one actually spreading the demons. That is why you go to churches that offer deliverance every day. Every demon don't finish there, but when you go to churches that don't pray against demons, so on, you hardly hear about demons. You hardly hear people suffering from demons there. These people invoke spirits of colonizers, pump into people, then flush out their ancestral spirits, and then manipulate them, then hypnotize them and keep them from milking. If you go to like the traditional churches, they don't overdo about. Yes, we know there are demons that enter people. Yes, those negative forces. Those things can easily be flushed out, but don't overput. What you overkeep in your mind is what will destroy you. When you overthink about demon, you attract demon. You attract what is in your mind. Think positively. The highest prayer is taught. The highest prayer is taught. That's why the real people pray don't talk. They sit quiet. Quiet. Think. And when you develop a thought to a level, send a frequency that no prayer can match with. That's why if you go around the world, the real people pray, they just kneel down, quiet, they don't talk, meditate, raise their mind, their consciousness to a certain level, is send out a marvelous frequency that all the around can never do.
Okay. Good evening. I'm writing from Yaoundé. I wish to ask Doctor, apart from water used for cleansing, which other plants can one use to clean the system?
Yeah, I'm not yet through with this person.
Okay.
So you start with your thought, you think positively, then go close to nature. Eat all the plants. The plant that you were growing, you saw your grandparents eating, eat them. Don't mind these people who come and say it's juju and so on. They are liars, hypocrites. They are actually living on them. Deceive you because they know when you go and eat them, you will not come to them and they will lose money. And they know that when you go and eat them, you come, the small power they have, they will not make you to fall down. Because when you have power, they cannot manipulate. They want you to be weak, so you're easily manipulated. Go and start eating your mahogany, your masopo, your all the plants around, your king plants, your blackjack. Start eat them. Meet experts. Get this thing from them. People like us, we give this thing to you go and eat them. That is where the spirit of God, the spirit of healing lies. The spirit of God is in all its creation. I earlier said if you go by like people who have been over too used to the religious books, they said in the beginning, during creation, the creator spoke His powerful words, or his, if I want to personalize the creator to make it look like a man, and everything came to being. It means the spirit of the creator became mahogany. It means that word, the word became Okomobo, means Okomobo is the word of God. Masopo is the word of God. Yeah, mango is the word of God. Yeah, bush pepper is the word of God. Everything you see, the word of God. The sun is the word of God. The moon is the word of God. Because it's that word that became those things. I mean, those things are the word of God. Consume the word of God. I know many people are finding this is a very strange topic, lecture. People are hearing for the first time. It's different from what you have been told. Because you have been derailed. The word has been derailed. The word has been placed in darkness.
Okay.
In darkness. So that people should become sheep for easy control.
Okay.
But I'm telling you the truth. Go close to nature and start living nature. In the morning, get up and sit under the sun. Tap energy from the sun.
We are out of time.
Yeah. Tap energy from the sun.
I wanted to read even 2 or 3.
Okay, let me go. Tap energy from the moon. Go and bathe in the sea. Tap energy and let the sea out. And take the soil. Rub your body once in a while. Move bare feet on the earth. So that the earth, you connect with the earth where you came from. It will tap energy from it, and it will also tap negative energy from you. Live naturally so that you get the power of God to have spiritual power.
Okay, they should go to rural settings. Just feel
meet nature. Those people there.
Okay.
Go there to rural settings. You have free, good air. Drink the spring water. The spring water is better than tap water.
Okay.
Eat the natural thing. Live a natural life.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please ask the doctor what is the best medicine for malaria and typhoid, and the best means to avoid it. We may not have time for most of this. Doc, the main natural cleanser of the system is water. Those leaves are for other functions. Yes, but he says we start by drinking water. That's what you said. You
drink water. The leaves have water in them. The leaves have water in them. Has oil in them. Have nutrients in them. So the leaves have even the water. So you cannot say the water is more than the empty water is more than the leaf. The leaf have so many things that the water doesn't have. They have what is in the water. But I said start with water.
Okay, start with water. Unfortunately, we have to end at this juncture. Doctor, thank you for coming and educating the population on the need to be careful on what and how we eat so that we prepare and fortify our bodies spiritually and physically so that we build energies that permit us to be able to withstand and overcome destructive energies that may come from out of our systems. We are glad to have had you. We hope you come again.
Yeah, it's always my pleasure when invited to come here to talk to people. I'm sent into the world as a Messiah to help free so many from the bondage of the world. So I'm always delighted to be here, and it's my pleasure to be here to talk to the people. So I'm always ready. Once you invite me to come here, I will always come to pass out this further knowledge to the people so that they will use it to have good health, because it's my pleasure to see my people healthy.
Okay. Any persons are asking questions that are unrelated to the topic of today. I pray that doctor finds time again to come and talk to you guys on a different topic, especially on what you guys are saying. Everybody's talking about their illness. Okay, but doctor's number was on the screen. I hope you guys took it. If you have some other challenges, write to me to share doctor's number with you. But when I give you his number, don't call him from before 8 o'clock. You can only call him from 8 to 4.
Yeah, because people make some errors because they have my number. They think they'll just call me anytime. When you call me before 8 in the morning, I'll hardly pick. You call me after 6 p.m., I'll hardly pick. So call me between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Central African time.
Okay. Thank you all for watching, and to the production team, Eli and Desmond. We say stay blessed. Bye-bye.
Welcome to a new world of TV broadcasting. My Media Prime. News,